Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Hi, welcome. This is just going to be a quick little video about how to interpret tarot as a twin flame. If you guys found my channel and you find yourself in a twin flame journey, I want you to listen carefully on this, weigh in very heavily on this little video that I'm going to be doing. Because this is going to help you learn how to interpret the tarot you guys are watching. I know you guys aren't just watching my channel, and I don't want you to. I want you to watch all the other channels, but I want you to know how to interpret the message. Interpret the message is what I meant to say. If I could talk today. So I'm going to go ahead and just breathe first and calm my energy. I've already meditated. I've already calmed myself before this message. I felt it was important to get out. I was driving today, and as you guys know, I drive and I listen to stuff. And while I was in my appointment waiting where I was at earlier, I was listening to a video of someone very well known and someone I love very dear. And everyone has a right to preach and speak on what the journey is. But did you guys ever just hear something and you know it's not right? You know it's off center. It may be somewhere around the vicinity, but it's off center. It's not pointed in the right direction completely. There's something off about the message. And I heard the message, and I love this person dearly, and the message was great. And she speaks from the heart, and she's extremely honest. I do feel, however, maybe it's because I feel she's a little bit more earthy, Vedic. She knows her tropical chart, but doesn't know her Vedic chart, or doesn't want to use it. And I just feel like the subconscious intuition on this journey is missing. There's a feminine, watery, subconscious, intuitive energy missing from a lot of these readers. It's not anyone's fault. It's just how they're built. It's how they're made. And I still listen. But as I was listening to the message, Spirit was talking to me, and he was saying, Stephanie, you know how to interpret this. You know how to hear it and throw out what doesn't fit and put in what does. You know how to hear a message that's a little off center, and you can find the barometer right in the middle where the truth is. Maybe it's a Saggy thing, I don't know. But I can find right in the middle, like a scale, what is true and what is not true. And I really believe that about myself. And so when I was listening to this tarot, the message was true, but the message before the tarot was a little off. And talking about this twin flame journey is very dear to my heart and very important to me. This twin flame journey is not something that I take lightly. This twin flame journey is not something that is tossed around, and it's not something that everybody has. The reason I feel I need to come on today and speak about this for a moment is to give you guys some insight. So if you are a twin flame, and you're watching this channel, and you follow me, and you know you are, and you hear messages that you might take in, and it throws you a little off. You know, it throws you a little to the right. And then you hear another message, and it throws you a little to the left. And all of a sudden, you feel like you're on this ship, sailing in the ocean, back and forth, on the journey, off the journey. It's an independent journey. It's a couple journey. It's a healing journey. It's a confidence journey. All these different advices from all these different tarot channels. And even if it's not a channel, maybe you go seek professionals in your area, okay, that speak on this. I wanted to come out and let you know, number one, you guys are the compass. You are the barometer. You have the truth already inside you. It's in the water. It's sitting there. It's still. But like the picture I posted on my thumbnail, you have the lotuses floating on the water. My image that came to my mind before I started this video was a calm water, just like the picture I showed you. And on that calm water was your mind. It was calm for a time. You guys spend the day and you get calm and you balance your energies and you meditate and you find peace. And then you hear a message, and the drop of water disrupts your pond. The drop of water just, and then all of a sudden ripples. Ripples start to affect your life. And your calm balance is disrupted, and it starts to disrupt your mind. Then the next ripple layer is your emotions. Then the next ripple layer is your life, your daily schedule. Then the next ripple layer is your belief system, and so on and so on. And so you see how these little drops of information are disrupting your calm and your peace on your journey. It's very important to get grounded and calm your mind and still it after you hear messages. So this is a special message for, again, those twin flame people that watch my channel. Anytime you hear a message after the day's gone, or maybe hours, or whenever you have a moment after you've digested a lot of the information you've partaken in for the day, to sit down calmly, even for 5 minutes, listen to a specific meditative channel, or maybe get a singing bowl, flutes, get some incense, stretch, and calm your energy from all the thoughts, from all the messages that you've heard, and meditate on what truth is for you. Because what truth is for you is not for everyone else. It's your truth alone. You know it's in the center of you. You are the water. All the other information can disrupt the water and change the way you flow. But you are the water. You are the lake. You are the pond. You are the stillness. You have the power to control the water. So once it's been disrupted, always get still, always get clear. And like the lotus flower, floating on top of the water are the truth. Lies the truth. And those lotus flowers will not be disrupted. They are floating on the surface of you. Your truth will float right on top of you. The truth will overcome all little ripples. It won't affect the lotus flower in any means. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not way out there for you guys. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you. I hope I'm not way out there in the distance for you. What I'm trying to say is there are truths about this journey and truths about you, and it doesn't matter what influence comes in. They will not tarnish or disrupt the truth. Now, okay, now that I've had that little intro on that, the truth that I heard on the tarot channel I was watching today is this twin flame journey, and it was said very matter of fact, very earthy. It was said matter of fact. This twin flame journey is really about self-love, self-reflection, I just kept hearing self, I. That is not a twin flame journey. So when I hear messages like that, maybe they weren't well thought out before they came out of someone's mouth, but it needs to be known that is part of the journey. But where the verbiage came in incorrect is that is the journey. So you, as a twin flame, hearing these messages, you need to know how to pick apart tarot information, readers and their information, and understand and trust your compass, your moral guide, that there is some information out there that's wonderful, even from the person that may goof up on a word or may not give a message completely correct. They have good information still. They're worth listening to. But as you're being guided on this journey, thank you so much for the super chat in blue. Thank you. As you're being guided on this journey, you need to know your compass, where it points north, where every time you hear a message, it's not, oh, I got to go with this person and listen because I admire that person. I respect that person. That person's usually right 90% of the time. I'm going to listen to that person. This journey is just about me. It doesn't involve we or us. And then you might hear another reader and they say, it's all about you coming into union. There is truth in all of those instances. And I am the truth seeker. Honestly, I am the truth seeker. There is truth in what she said. And there's truth in what other people say. But the biggest truth of all is this twin flame journey is not just a self journey. So when you hear a message or someone of high esteem that speaks out and says, this journey is about self-love and self-reflection and spiritual enlightenment, It's about ascension in your spiritual journey. That is only part of it. There's a reason you were born in this body, reincarnated in 2 bodies, 1 soul. And it causes me to question, it causes me to think, does that person even know what kind of a journey she's on? Is this very smart, beautiful, intuitive tarot card reader even really fully aware of the journey she's on, if she is indeed a twin, which I feel she is, but is she? It begs me to question. Also, is this person a divine masculine energy or a divine feminine energy? It's another question, right? And then someone once commented, we're all DMs and DFs, and then somebody else commented, we only have 1 DM and DF and all this and that. There's divine in every soul. Even the karmics, yeah, the karmics even have a divine piece of them in their heart. Okay, they're not all dark. Okay, they're not all low vibe. They do have a piece. Everyone has a piece of spiritual enlightenment in them. Everyone does. But the level of potency gets a lot higher when you go to spiritual people who are here for a spiritual journey. And you get people that judge and say, well, no one's better than anybody. And a lot of those are Aquariuses. No one's better than anybody. We're all the same. We're all equal. Look, Libras. Look, Aquariuses. We are all equally respected and equally deserve love and equally deserve certain things. But we are not all created equal spiritually. And that is not racist, judgmental. It's not an opinion. It's not, it's not any of those differences. Don't be quick to judge me. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your astrology chart, your birth chart will show you if you are meant and created to be on a very high spiritual journey or not. Does that make people who are not less important, less worthy, less valuable than the person that's spiritual? No. On that aspect, we are equally valuable. Every soul is very valuable. We're just on different paths, everybody. And we can't all put ourselves into the same boat. We're all in the same pot together. We're not. There is separation. There is differences. It's just life. It's just balance. There is dark, there is light, there is good, there is evil, there is up, there is down, there is yes, there is no. There's spiritual, there is not spiritual. We're not all here doing the same thing. You are not all born Libras. We're not all born Geminis. We're not all born a certain sign. And even those zodiac signs are very different. And in astrology, you'll see the nakshatras and how they work together. How you can have a Mula nakshatra and a Bahabashara nakshatra and all these different ones. Revati nakshatra. And how they work together. How does a Magha and a Mula work together? How does that make you different from the next person that has the same birthday as you? It's very different. It's precise. It's intricate. Each person is different. Anyways, that being said, as different as fingerprints will be this twin flame journey. You're not all here for the same. But you are all on the same path as far as the twin flame. You are one soul split into 2 bodies, born in a collective group of souls that are supposed to achieve a certain level of understanding in this timeline right now to achieve a level of peace and balance on this planet and to achieve a level of wisdom so you can teach that to others, so you can be a light of balance. Basically, twin flames are a light of balance, perfect balance. And twin flames are great teachers. So I'm not saying all teachers are twin flames. I'm just saying twin flames make very good teachers. So anyways, when I was hearing this tarot, it was saying that this journey is just a soul enlightenment, self-seeking journey. And really, you can be your own spouse. You can be your own person. All you need is you, and that's part of the journey. And my intuition is telling me that she just let go. She recently let go of a partner, an idea, an ideal. She's very much resonating in a reading I did yesterday about freedom, releasing yourself from all aspects of your old programming, the whole tower business that we talked about, releasing yourself and being free, freeing yourself from all forms and fashions of particulars and putting yourself in a collective box and saying it is how it is. It's feeling free. And when you feel free and you've released yourself from the journey or your significant other, you automatically start to have thoughts of, I don't need my twin, I don't need anyone, I'm happy on my own, I'm happy by myself, I am my own answer, I am my own peace. Yes, that's great. That's part of the journey. And that enlightenment is beautiful. Beautiful. So yes, keep telling yourself that. That's 100. She's absolutely right. All those feelings are real. That is a step in this process. It's a step. It's not the answer. And I think that's where words can get fumbled. It's not the answer. It's not the destination. It's not the purpose. And it's not the soul enlightenment of being a twin. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you so much. I'll read that comment in a minute. So all of the things that this person said, I admire and I love, and that she's absolutely right. That's a part of the journey. And this is a process. I see some people advancing in a process. They go from being connected to wounded, to hurt, to fighting for it, to giving it up, to self-enlightenment, and then they can go into a union of some kind, a reconnection, a reconciliation. And then they can go into a mutual enlightenment, a mutual healing, and a mutual growing, and it goes on, so on. This twin flame journey, if you can imagine, is like a flower. And this flower never stops growing. It's rooted and seeded into soil, which is the earth. You've been placed here in your soul and your body, okay? You've been placed here on the earth, in the earth. You are of the earth. You achieve a level of foundation. Where is your seed planted? And some of us have to cut out all the roots of our old family history, our ancestors, our belief systems, everything. Some of us get to keep it. Some of us have to cut it out. And then you start to grow. Your seed starts to grow roots, and it roots into a foundation, and it can't be moved. It's situated where it always will be. You have a healthy foundation. And please refer to a previous video. I talked about foundation. Very important. I don't want to go into it now, but watch that video. And then it starts to burst out of the earth, which is the first steps to ascension. You start to lift yourself up. I'm sorry, I can't talk. You start to lift yourself. Okay, I really can't talk. You start to lift yourself up, Stephanie, away from the third dimensional world. You start to live in 5D. So now your root and your seed has exceeded the earth. You're lifting up. You're up out of the third dimensional realm. You're out of the matrix. This is your first little plant that sits outside of the ground in the soil. Now you're awake. Your feelers are out. You're completely aware on this twin flame journey. You're like, wow, I see things clearly. I'm seeing above the clouds. I see the matrix. I see all the fakeness. I see all the masks. I see all the programming. I can see everything. You've taken the glasses off. The blinders are gone. That's one of the first awakenings of the twin flame journey, you know. And then peekaboo, you meet your person. You meet them above the clouds. You're like, hi, there you are. There you are. You get connected to your other self. This is like a kundalini thing I'm talking about. And you look over the clouds and you find the other body, the other soul is doing the same thing you are. They planted a seed into a foundation. It's rooting. It's growing. They're popping their head out of the soil, and you guys are going to connect. Two little plants are going to connect, like a little bamboo plant, twisting around each other. And you start to grow together. Can you guys picture a little bamboo plant that's twisted around each other, and it starts to twist and grow higher and higher, and more beautiful and thick and beautiful? Anyways, you know, that is the twin flame thing. So once you've arisen out of this matrix and out of this third dimensional funk, you start to stick together and you grow together. Sometimes you go left, sometimes you go right, sometimes you're in the same direction. It's just very twisted. but you're together. You're doing this together. So what I'm saying is, it's a process, and you keep growing. Sometimes you're meant to separate. Sometimes you're meant to stay together. Sometimes you're meant to grow together and be individuals. So what she said was dead on. Sometimes it is about self-love and being your own spouse, appreciating yourself, cooking for yourself, loving yourself, becoming the spouse you want in your life. We talk about that all the time. Become the person you want in your life so you can attract them now. That's the law of attraction. That's what you think about, you bring about. That's the attitude of gratitude. When you're happy with yourself, what do you beget? You beget something else that comes to you, and it's like a constant. You keep getting more of what you are. You're a duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. You keep causing more towards you. So she's dead on. I just wanted to speak out so you guys know how to interpret tarot. When you hear messages, it doesn't mean that there's no truth in it because it's not on your compass. It means listen to keywords, know where to point your compass, know that there is some truths to the things you hear, but it's not precisely dead on. Don't be so critiquing to where you think everything a tarot card reader says and does has to be on point and fit with you like a puzzle every step of the journey. It must fit 100%. There are going to be things you're going to hear and see on this journey. And you have to be able to pick apart the truth and the lies, or the deceit, or maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's just confusion. You have to be able to pick apart the quality from the quantity. Okay? It's like looking at the tares from the wheat in the Bible, the tares and the wheat. You need to know what bits of truth are for you and what bits are not. So when someone says, hey, this is the journey, and they confuse you as a twin, and you start to focus on yourself only, and you let go of your partner and you're just focusing on you, I don't see anything wrong with that because that's part of the journey. But be very careful that you don't feed yourself a lot of that information to the point where you've convinced yourself that that's the answer and that's the journey alone. There's nothing else. It's just you, yourself, and ascension. What I'm saying is, do not tell yourself that, nor should you ever feed your mind, body, soul that information. Because when you're on a twin flame journey, you are not by yourself. You are not alone. There is someone else. And if it looks cloudy and you can't see them, maybe they still haven't popped out of the clouds yet. It doesn't mean you're alone. It means they're not there yet. It doesn't mean you need to quit growing. It doesn't mean you need to quit doing everything that you're doing. Sometimes, some of us on this twin flame journey are that little plant that pops above the earth, through the mist, through the clouds, and pops up, and we're looking around and we don't see our twin. We're awake, we're aware, we're on this journey self-reflective and healing, and we're doing all the right things, and we're looking around, and where's your twin flame? Where is your other half? You don't see them. And the thunder just lightened. Wow. And the thunder rolls. The thunder's here. So you're not alone. It's just that person's not popped out yet. What I've found in my garden, because I have a beautiful garden, what I have found is some of my flowers that turn into vines, like morning glories, or those vines that grow on the fence, you know. Some of them grow short and they're taking forever to get high to grow tall. And then some of my little flowers, they root up real quick and they go real high real fast, and they're blooming and they're up in the sun and they're totally out there, and their leaves are shadowing the little buddy below them. And I'm like, uh-oh, they need some sun, they got to grow. But what I notice is, especially my morning glories, as this one flower grows and gets taller and taller and gets strong, that little flower that was below, that little vine that seems so short and didn't catch up, leaches on to the other flower. If you guys can imagine these vines, okay? It leaches onto the other flower and gets clutched onto it, and it starts climbing the flower. And all of a sudden, within a few mornings, I see this beautiful vine full of these little bells that are purple and pink and white and pink, and they're growing together, and I couldn't tear them apart if I wanted to. Their little vines are so intertwined to each other, it's like they're one flower. There's no pulling it apart. They've grown, they're rooted. If I uprooted that, I would uproot both of them. They are stuck together. One's purple, one's pink. They're stuck together, and they are super entwined and tangled. And that is like this journey. So if you keep growing, if you keep ascending, growing taller and stronger, passing up your twin at times, it doesn't mean you're alone. It means they're going to catch up. And chances are they're going to grab a hang of you. They're going to hang on to you. You're going to be their compass. You're going to be a guiding light. You're going to be a lighthouse in the dark on that Pacific Ocean. And the rain just started coming down. You're going to be the lantern in the night. You are going to be the star that they follow. Thank you, Julia, for your super chat. Thank you so much. So if you just don't panic because you think you're the only flower in the garden, and you're so beautiful and tall, and your leaves are covering over the little buddy below you, your little twin, does not mean you're alone. Don't ever tell yourself that. They're going to catch up, and they're going to hang on to you, and they're going to grow with you, and before you know it, you're both inseparable. You are in union, you are bound, and you are beautiful. So there's nothing wrong with being on this journey, loving yourself and doing you. Just be very careful with the words you tell yourself and the words you speak. Because what you think about, you bring about. What you feel becomes real. Okay? And what you speak becomes a creation. So if you tell yourself for certain, this is my twin flame journey. This is it. It's me, myself, and my ascension. It's not. And I am here today to tell you I disagree. And I am here as a guide. And that is part of the journey. I'm not in disagreement that that's not a righteous path. But I am in disagreement in the fact that you tell people that is what the journey is. Because it is not. So I hope I made that clear. Now on this twin flame journey, just to be clear for everyone watching, there's not a lot of twin flames, okay? There's not. There's more divine soulmates than there are twins. It doesn't mean you're less spiritual to be either or. Twin flames actually have a little bit more difficulty. It's like somebody with a hardship. It doesn't make them any less important or capable. It just makes their journey very difficult. I guess God just showed me the first person that came to my mind was Soul Surfer. The woman in the ocean that her arm got bitten off by a shark. And she was handicapped. Her arm is completely missing from the shoulder cap down. And anyways, the shark didn't kill her, but it sure did mess up her life at that time. And that person had a choice to either give up everything, give up surfing, become scared of the water, hate her life, maybe hide out at home forever, stay out of the limelight. She was pretty famous before, now it's time to stay out of the limelight. Go recluse, be in your shell. You've been bitten by a shark. There's fear. And that's a lot like this twin flame journey. I guess that's why God's showing it to me. Because sometimes as a twin flame, your twin is the shark. Your twin seems like the devil. Your twin seems like your enemy. Someone to hurt you. But it made her stronger. I'm not saying, it's not exactly like your twin's the shark. She can't go cuddle the shark, guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying sometimes what comes out of the dark and bites you and seemingly damages you makes you stronger. And actually makes you bloom into the person you're supposed to be. More than you would have been on another path. Now, that woman, Soul Surfer, still did surfing. She learned how to swim without her arm. She continued competing. She was even more famous. She was on movies and TV. She got married to a very good-looking man. God, he was gorgeous. Had beautiful children. She smiles all the time. She is in bliss and she is happy. She's loved, and more importantly, she has it inside of her to give love. She didn't let that shark take her down. She let that shark recreate her, recreate who she was. And I think she's better for it. I think she's more herself now than she would have been any other way. And in her astrology chart, this is who she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be that person that has an accident. She's supposed to be that person in her chart that has a completely earth-shattering tower in her life. And then she comes back harder. Sometimes you're born with a chart like that, guys. We are born that way. It's already there, written in the stars. It is written in the stars. It's written in your DNA. It's written in your fingerprints. It's written in your essence. You can't change that. Now, you can't change who your twin is. If you've been reincarnated here and you have a twin flame, you are one soul, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, up in a higher dimension, and you were birthed here. Your soul had split like actual twins, but your soul was split. And you went into one body over here, and the other part of your soul went into another body. Why is that so hard to understand? Can anyone understand how twins are made? They come from one seed, one egg, and one semen from two parents. Supposed to make one child, but they make two. Your guess is as good as mine. That's divine. It's beautiful. It's science. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And the same with souls. Sometimes it's like, how the hell did this happen? How is that possible? How could one soul become separated and become two bodies? Well, you answer my question on how one egg and one seed can become two babies. You answer me that. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons and science has proven. I'm just saying, spiritually speaking, okay? It's just as divine. And it happens. It's rare, but it happens. Anyways, that being said, your journey is not for you to be by yourself. Your journey is to be with that other person, that other half. And it's ironic because I was watching a show on triplets and, I don't know, twins and babies that were adopted with the purpose of separation so that scientists could study how they grow up and they're seemingly the same, even though they were raised in different homes, different places, different families, yet they still turn out the same. It's this very weird energetical combination that even if they've never met each other, they have so many similarities. Now, on this twin flame journey, I have seen very odd coincidences. Twins that have taken pictures at the same time in their life wearing almost the same thing. Never met. And they look back at their baby pictures and like, oh my God, look what you're wearing. Look what you're wearing. We look the same. We're wearing the same thing. It's so weird. And one grew up in Australia and one grew up in Germany. Like they meet somewhere and they're, hi, we're so much alike. And other people that have a twin flame and it's like all of the things that have happened in your life happened to each other at the same time across the world or in just different places. You didn't even know each other. You both lost parents at the same age. You both had crises in your life for whatever crises appeared. You both were awakened, almost at the same time. When you met, there was divine timing. It was like the heavens opened and it was a divine meeting. It was orchestrated. And it's because it was. It's all in your astrological chart. The heavens knew when you would meet, how old you would be, where you would meet. And you want to know the really cool stuff. I'll tell you the really cool stuff. And I've looked at astrology, and you can go to KRS Astrology channel and get some video information on what I'm going to tell you, because I don't have time to do a whole video like that. But it's proven in your chart, whoever you're going to marry, you can see actually in your chart the location, what it's going to look like, what kind of things are you going to see, in the location you're going to meet this person. Like, example, if you're going to meet someone at a park, and if you're going to be looking at a crab tree or something with a crab, maybe there's a statue of a crab. Maybe there's a crab house right there by across the street. Maybe there's a seafood place. Maybe there's little crabs in the water. I'm just trying to make up an example here, guys. And the reason I'm saying crab in the park and all this and that is because the crabs are represented in the house of Cancer, Cancerian. So when you meet someone, say you have Cancer in your Venus, and you have, let's say, Taurus in your Jupiter, and you're supposed to meet this person at a specific age, and you can tell your age in your chart. It's very long to explain, guys, but every house counts as a year. And there's, you have 12 years, then 24 years. Every house you can count and you can say, oh, I'll be 24 years old at this time in this house, and I'll be meeting someone, Venus, Jupiter, at this time. And you look directly across from that, the 7 houses away, and you'll see who you're going to be meeting. It's going to be karmically put there. It'll be your Jupiter or your Venus. Mars, if you're gay, you'll have that person there. And you'll be like, okay, so I'm sitting in the house of Cancer, and they're in the sign of Taurus or Sagittarius or something. And you meet them at a park, and you see a horse carriage. Like you meet them and there's horse carriage rides. Or you meet them at a rodeo. Maybe you see bulls. There's bull riding, pro rodeo stuff. Or you meet them and maybe they're wearing a belt buckle with a horse on it, or a bull or something. You know what I mean? There are signs and synchronicities of how you meet your person and the signs that are going to be there. It's just in the chart. Cancer also represents your mother, your house, like a restaurant, a home setting, or you could actually be with your mother or grandmother, someone that's very motherly to you when you meet your person. So Cancer could be like, oh, I met my person, and oh my God, my mom was there. We were at a restaurant. They were serving crab. Oh my freaking what? Light bulb. It's there in your chart. You can see when you're going to meet very specific, important people in your life. So I'm not going to go on and on. That's just way too much, and no one's going to know what the hell I'm talking about. But my point is, if you're on this twin flame journey, I can see literally where, when, how old you're going to be when you're going to meet this person. I don't offer that as a service right now. I may later, and I've done it like 6 months ago. I was doing that, and it took up like 6 hours of my time for one person, and I wasn't compensated correctly, and it was too much work, and I just couldn't do it. It takes a lot to look into someone's chart. But anyways, what I'm saying is, let me just get back on track here. If you're on this twin flame journey, trust and believe me from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my soul, this is an orchestrated meeting. You will recognize who your person is. There's divine signs. You'll see it in your astrology chart, and even if you don't see it because you don't know jack about your astrology chart, it's a divine meeting. It was weird. It was out of the ordinary. The way you met this person was insane. Let's just think of something simple. Your Jupiter, if you're a woman seeking a husband, is in the sign of Pisces. And you met this person on plentyoffish.com. Or you met this person at a sushi bar. Or you met this person fishing. Or you met this person, at an aquarium. Okay? Or you know what I mean? There's weird signs. Just an example that your person will have all these similarities. Maybe they cook fish great. Maybe they're great fishermen. I don't know. But there's going to be something about them that's like, oh my God, this is weird. It's the way you met is orchestrated. It's divine. Okay? You're supposed to be with that person. A lot of times, like for me, I think Venus. Let's just do Venus, because Venus is old school, supposed to be for a man's wife. But nowadays, a man and a woman can look at their Venus and it can be the spouse, man or woman, even though it's supposed to be very feminine, man or woman. You can have Venus in Scorpio. And let's just say, oh my God, my person has Scorpio in their chart. They're Scorpio moon. Or whatever. Oh my God, there's Scorpio in their chart. Or they have a Scorpio sun, or, something like that, Scorpio rising. It's usually one of the three. Okay? Or maybe they have it in their Venus as well. But, and I've talked about Venus and Scorpio before, guys. It's a very secretive relationship. And you're probably going to meet being a secret. And your relationship is going to involve a lot of secrets, hidden things, hidden emotions, hidden feelings, a lot of just very well tucked in hidden energy. And so Venus in Scorpio is not that fun. I have it, trust me. It's not. And your person will come off very secretive, very elusive. Your person in a Venus in Scorpio will wear a lot of sunglasses, high collared shirts, jackets. They're going to wear darker colors, black, brown, red. Yeah, just dark colors, or very, very out there to punch you in the face colors. Black and red is prominent in a Scorpio. But they do wear deep purples and deep browns. And they don't like to stand out in the crowd, guys. Scorpios are that elusive secret, like private investigator detective in the back of the room. You don't see them sticking out. They're not going to come at you like a Leo. Scorpios are not going to come at you like a Leo. They're going to come at you in a very secretive, quiet, elusive way. And Scorpios tend to be very quiet. Like when they talk to you, listen, because I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm a Scorpio. They have, anyways, I'm going way too much into Scorpios. My point is, guys, when you're on this twin flame journey, you know who you're going to meet. I just want you to take a gander at your chart. See the sign it's in for Venus, or Jupiter, okay? Mars, and you know what that means. See how it fits, even Sun, Moon, or Rising. See how your karmas are intertwined as a twin flame. I want you to see where Rahu and Ketu are, north node, south node of the moon. Check it out. Learn your chart. As a twin flame, you shouldn't have to be too guided and too coached. A lot of twin flames can fall into astrology like that. It's very easy. It's very easy for you to understand once you put your effort out there. But if not, there's things to guide you. But do that. Because this is not a journey by yourself. So I guess where I'm trying to go with this, guys, and I went way off subject. You're not here alone. You're supposed to be in union with your twin. There are times where you're going to be separate. There are times that you're going to come together. But just please be careful when you're listening to other readers and other things. Learn how to listen to tarot. There's going to be energy in the room with every single tarot card reader. We put out the cards. It's a specific story. For us to relay the story how we see it. And that's it. We can only relay it how we see it from our perspective, from our vantage point, and we relay the message. Those cards coming out could mean something totally different for you, and you can interpret them. You can figure out what these things mean for you. They're going to speak to you, guys. They're going to speak to you loud and proud. Those cards are going to talk to you. You're going to know these messages just by looking at the cards. When I started doing tarot, and I knew how to do it, because I was getting tarot card readings way before I even did tarot. But as soon as I learned tarot and I got a tarot card reading, she would lay out the cards and boom, I got the message. It's like, don't even talk to me. I already see the cards. Thank you for using your energy to pull out my cards, but I can see the message very clear. And of course I would hear the message. I wouldn't really tell her to be quiet. I'm just saying that the cards should speak to you. It's like, boom, there's a message. It hits you right between the eyes like a bullseye. So when you're reading tarot or you're interpreting these videos, be careful. Use your compass. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. Sense things out, guys. Sense it out. Is this what she's saying on point for me? Have you ever heard something and all of a sudden you got this feeling, that's not right? That's not the right vibration. That is exactly your intuition. Your intuition is screaming at you. Hey, that what you just heard, boom, 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 there's an alert, there's a red flag. You know, and it's supposed to be your intuition saying, person, stay aware. Open your eyes, you know, listen carefully, you know, be on alert. This is not maybe the message for you, or listen very carefully because there's only bits and pieces for you, not everything. But as soon as you have a red flag go on in your intuition and you know, uh-oh, that doesn't sound like this journey. Uh-oh, this doesn't sound on track with me. Trust it. So for the people that follow me and tune into my channel and you're a twin flame and you're on this journey and you're hearing a lot of things like that about being alone or being single or going to meet someone new, that is also very key. This is a very touchy subject. If you're a twin flame and you're getting advice from people that speak on twin flame journeys, they speak on it, they preach on it, they read on it, and all of a sudden you hear something like, you're going to have to just leave this person behind, they're never going to change, go with someone new. It's time to let go of the old and move on to the next person. You have a real soulmate coming in now. The other one was just a false twin flame. False, not true. Let's move on. Be careful, because also on this twin flame journey, you are not going to meet another twin. There's no new twin. There's nobody new. There's no new divine twin flame coming in your life, honey. If you've met your twin flame and it is indeed your twin flame, and I told you, you can check it in your astrology chart. If you've already met that person, that's it. Does it mean you can't ever be with anybody else? No, it just means don't fool yourself and tell yourself that that person's false and the next person coming in is going to be real. Obviously, someone is bitter, damaged, and hurt. People that speak on that need healing. They are hurt people. They are damaged, they are rejected, and they feel there's no way out. They don't see a way out. They are drowning. There's nowhere to go, but down is how they feel. And it's about surrender, because you can't figure a way out. And this is why God put me here. This is why I have a channel. For people like that who think there's no way out. There's nowhere to go but down from here. You have to let it go. There's no healing. There's no fixing. There's no nothing. You just have to give up and move on. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm inspirational. That's why I speak positivity. That's why I speak hope. That's why I speak about healing and growing yourself and doing all these things. Because no, leaving is not the answer. It's not the answer. And that's if you really are on this divine journey. There is no such thing, and it's a very fake term, and you heard it here. There is no such thing as a false twin flame. It's fake. Fake news. There is no such thing as having more than one twin flame. That's false. Fake news. And there is no such thing as having a twin flame that is not a lover. The reason being is because twin flames are meant to be sexual. There's a reason that all of your chakras must be aligned. Root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. They must all be intertwined with your twin together. Not half of them. Not a couple of them. All of them. Every single 7 points on your body need to match and be healed and aligned with your twin flame. And unless you plan on having sex with your mother or your brother or your bestie, I don't think that root and sacral chakra are going to make it, honey. It's not going to make it. And there's going to be a disconnect and a very difficult time. That's all I'm going to say. Now, can you have a soulmate mother, soulmate brother, soulmate friend? Oh, hell to the yes. Hell to the yes. Hell to the yes. Can they be divine? Yes. Can they be here to go with you on a spiritual journey? Yep. Ding, ding, ding. Yes. Those are those that I try to coach and try to teach that, hey, you're not far off the journey. You're just a little bit confused. And that's okay. It's okay. At least you're on the right path. At least you're learning how to ascend and be spiritual and clear and, love yourself and follow spirituality. At least you're on the right track. You might be a little dazed and confused on where you're at on this track, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But let's stay focused, guys. Let's listen to those teachers that know where you're going. You want to get good teachers. You want to get good goals. You want to have a path that you can follow. So you really need to take it upon yourself to really trust your instincts, your intuition, and more importantly, don't depend on everybody else to tell you what to do. Hey, you're a twin flame. No, you're not. Hey, they're doing black magic on you. Hey, no, they're not. Hey, you're a divine soulmate. Hey, no, you're not. Hey, you're a karmic. Hey, no, you're not. Listen, Linda. No one's going to tell you who or what you are. There will be a divine recognition the moment you know. Not me, and no one can tell you anything different. And your red flags should go up anytime you're told otherwise. No one should claim to tell you what you are. They don't know. Unless they're Jesus himself. I don't know. I don't know that they would know. So I just want you to know that on my channel, I do tarot readings. I do help people find out their journey, their path. I can look at astrology charts and I can tell you if I feel, based on the energies that come out in a reading, if you are a divine twin on this, pathway. I can tell you my opinion, but I will only tell you my opinion. I will not tell you for certain this is what you are. I will say I feel like there's a strong possibility that you are. Or I'll say, I see it in the cards that you are aligned with a twin flame journey energy. And that's up to you to figure that out or not. That is not for me to tell you. You should know. And you know what? Your spirit is going to guide you. And you're going to be pushed into a guidance from your spirit guides, your ascended masters, and your guardian angels. You will be pushed into an alignment. You will be pushed by the number sequences, which will be your first flag that they're trying to communicate with you. My advice to people that see consecutive numbers 222, 444, 1111, stop what you're doing. Or even if you're driving and you see the number, turn off the music. Speak out loud. You're talking to me. What is the message? I am ready to listen to the message. I am ready to know you have my attention. I am ready to learn and accept the message you're trying to give to me. You're going to speak it into existence. You're going to let them know I hear you, I see you. And you will get the message. It will come through some divine form of knowing, guys. However it comes, you do the math. It will show up. I got a reading from Psychic Medium Ray, and I recommend him. And he did a reading for me and my kid's father after he passed away. And we got this weird message in the reading, and he was like, he's showing me a jelly bean? A jelly bean. And I was like, a jelly bean? We never talked about jelly beans. We don't eat jelly beans. We don't have any special reference to a jelly bean. I don't know where that reference is coming from. And he said, well, it's coming in really strong. I know there's something about a damn jelly bean. I'm like, well, I'm lost. I have no clue what the F you're talking about. And I think like 2 or 3 days went by, maybe even a week. I took my son driving. I was teaching him how to drive my car. And I was thinking the whole time in the car, I wish his dad was here to do this. I wish his dad was here to see it. This was something his dad wanted to do, was to teach him how to drive. And I felt kind of sad. And I was thinking that day, I wish you were here to see it. I wish you were here to be here with us and you could see this. You could see our son and how beautiful he is and how he's growing. And I felt sad that he wasn't there. We came home in the door. My TV was on, and I don't remember leaving it on. And usually after a couple hours, it will shut off. but it wasn't. It was still on. There was a movie playing. I think it was Ant-Man. As soon as I opened the keys to the door, walked in, put my keys down, there was a woman in the movie Ant-Man walking in the door to see her son. I don't even know what was going on in the movie. But as soon as I sat my son down and my stuff down, the woman kneeled down to her son, and I think she called him Jelly Bean. I think that was his nickname in the movie, Jelly Bean. Something about a jelly bean came on in the movie. We hadn't even been in the door 30 seconds. And the word jelly bean came out on the TV. And I instantly knew all of a sudden, click, oh my God. Psychic medium Ray told me about a jelly bean. It didn't happen yet. It was going to happen in the future. You know, sometimes you guys get readings and you think all this had already happened. Sometimes it hasn't even happened yet. It's going to happen in the future. And so, yes, it happened to me in the future. And that moment when I heard Jelly Bean, it clicked and I looked behind at my son and tears rolled down my eyes. And I was like, oh my effing God, he was here. He was with us. He was with us driving. He was there. He wanted me to know he was there. He wanted me to know I saw you guys. I was there with you guys. I saw it. So Jelly Bean, it was just one word. It was something that my love knew would catch my attention. And it did. That weird word that stuck out. Days later, I remembered and it popped up and it stuck out to me. And yep, it caught my attention. And he was there at the time we walked in, letting me know, hey, your whole fun day, I was there. I was watching. So, where I'm going with that is, where was I going with that? Well, things might be foretold to you and they don't make sense now, but they will in the future. There are very, very weird instances, guys. It's proven to me all the time that you should know who you are in this journey. No one should tell you different. There is a spiritual world. There is unexplainable things. You need to trust yourself on this journey. You should never trust other people. You need to trust yourself. I can listen to my psychic reading and everything will hit home for me and it will make sense. But if you let someone else listen to your reading, they may not agree. They may think, oh, that's, fake, or anyone should know that, or blah, blah, blah. No. You know in your heart when it's real and when it's not. Follow your compass. Okay, so that was some information on twin flames. Thank you so much for your super chat, TC. You see pennies on the ground when I know my grandma and grandpa are with me. Yeah, there you go. Some people see butterflies, feathers, pennies, dimes, numbers. A lot of things come into play. My grandpa sees crosses everywhere in the clouds, on the street, shadows, just crosses. He knows that's his connection with my dad. My grandma sees butterflies, yellow butterflies. That's her connection with my dad. I also see butterflies, but it's hard to get those connections in the winter when there's no butterflies around, but there are things that pop up. You see 11 every day. Yeah, do that meditation I posted, guys, by James Van Praagh. It's on my community channel post. Go to my YouTube, click on my bubble, click on my name, Just Keep Swimming 1111, click on my channel, go to where it says community posts. It just says community. Click 3 or 4 little titles over and click on community, and then you will see all my posts. And on those posts, you can click on the James Van Praagh 20-minute meditation. He will show you how to meet your guardian angel, your ascended master, and then your spirit guides. Your one spirit guide. Very important. And you will figure things out. Once you're awake and you know who your guides are, you're going to talk to them. You're going to speak with them. They're going to guide you. You're going to be more on this path than you ever have been. Okay? So I hope that makes some kind of sense. I hope I was explaining enough on this twin flame journey. This journey is not just by yourself. Okay? You are with your person. You guys are meant to have a reconciliation. Twin flames, you are meant to be together. You're meant to embrace physically. Okay? So when you hear things like let it go, be by yourself, I love that advice. That is the full cup advice. Everything she said was true. Love yourself, be your spouse, be who you want to marry, be who you want in your life. Be okay on your own. Don't be desperate. Don't feel like you can't live without your twin. That's not a healthy vibration. That's not a full cup. So she's completely right about all of it. It's just the one thing about, that's what this twin flame journey is a self-spiritual enlightenment journey. I feel that I need to speak out to you guys and say, coming from where I'm coming from on this journey, where I feel very aware of it, that's only half of it. Half of it. The other half is learning to cooperate with your person. Learning to, what's the word? I don't know, work together, okay? Compromise was the word. Learn to compromise. Learn to work with your person. Learn to see the faults in yourself. You're going to see some things about yourself you don't like through the eyes of your partner. You know, if you're overweight, you're going to sense it with your partner. They don't like that about you. It's not that they don't love you for all of who you are. It's that they're telling you you're not healthy. And you sense you need to get back in shape. If you smoke, same thing. Maybe your partner does or doesn't. They're going to make you want to quit. If you're very judgmental and critical, and all you've learned on this journey is that poking fingers at the person you love to get them to be on the right track isn't helping, then they're going to help you reflect and stop poking and stop criticizing. And you're going to learn that through rejection, because all of your love and things will be rejected. If you're too clingy on this journey, you're too clingy and you want to be all up in it. And I'm a Cancer, believe me, I know a lot about that. Believe me, your twin will let you know, hey, you're a little clingy. This is not aligned with balance, and this is not what I want. When your twin rejects you, it's not because they're rejecting you. They're rejecting an imbalance in you. Remember this, and I'll just say that one more time to be clear. When you are twin flame, specifically twin flame, when your twin rejects you in relationship, it is not something wrong with you. It's something wrong with the inner you. Something in your balance is off. You're either mentally imbalanced, physically imbalanced, or emotionally imbalanced, or maybe all of the above. But they're supposed to be here to show you that. And don't think that they're getting away scot-free. Oh, no, 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 no. The same thing with your twin. When you are not pleased with them, and they sense your rejection, and they sense your criticism, or they sense your dissatisfaction, and they have insecurities, they are made well aware known. Hey, something's wrong with you. You have an imbalance. You are in dark stuff, or you're doing dark stuff. You're mentally, physically, emotionally imbalanced. I'm trying to heal you and fix you. When they realize you're trying to heal them and fix them, they realize I'm not balanced. And so both of you will kind of, like the two magnets that I've talked about before, you'll start to push each other away. You know what I mean? Look at that. Can't even come together. You'll start to push each other away. There will be no coming together at all. It's just because you're not balanced. Anyways, so that's the twin flame journey. So if you do feel rejected, unloved, unchosen, there's an imbalance. Should you always blame yourself? No. Here's where I talk about how to read readings as a twin flame. Never take everything at face value. Don't think that must be the reason for all my rejection. You have to trust your intuition. It always goes back to that place of center. Like I told you about the pond or the water that's real calm and still, and you drop these water drops into the water and it sends ripples to all your mind, body, and emotions in life. Whenever you feel rejected, you always have to get centered. Like I said in the beginning of this video, sit down, meditate, ground, and center yourself. So you can ask clearly in your compass, is this why? Why is this? What is going on? You alone have the answers. Listening to tarot is just a divination tool. These are just tools. They're not all the answers. There's just some things that come up in your energy and they help you see things when you can't see clearly, or you're not open to listening. And I'll do just a little reading before I go so you guys can have something. But if you have any questions about the twin flame journey while I'm on here, please ask. Okay? Let's just do this real quick. Just to show you guys what I mean. Spirit, please speak to me through the cards and reveal to me a message for the twin flame journey on rejection. Can you please reveal to me a message for the twin flame collective on rejection and what needs to be shown about that? We have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. I was going to say karmic energy, but it's just energy. I think that's the key word. And Spirit's saying, when you feel rejected, the time has come to clear your energy. Release your ex. What I mean by that is release their opinion of you, release the rejection, release any negative toxic energy that's inside yourself or with them. The key word here is to release. If you are feeling rejected and unloved, unrequited energy, release that energy from you and try to center. Get grounded. Burn that shit. Write it on a piece of paper. Whatever they've said to you. If they say we're never going to be, together, or I don't love you, write that down and burn that shit. That's not true. Release that energy. These are for twin flames, okay? These are not for everyone, this message. Spirit, can you give me another message for the twin flames on rejection? Give me another message. Queen of Swords. Seeing things clearly, trusting your intuition. It's about being strong. When the Queen of Swords gets cut off, rejected, she doesn't go cry in a corner. She gets strong. She sees things clearly. And she takes action. When you get cut off, take action. See things for what they are. Intuitively. There's more to the story than meets the eye. The Queen of Swords knows that. Also, be careful when you get rejected because you could become bitter, like Queen of Swords does sometimes. Bitterness, hardness, coldness. Understand words are things said out of anger to cause pain, to hurt, to injure. And hurt people hurt people. There's no reason anyone should reject someone that just wants to give love. However, if somebody rejects someone who's being borderline psycho stalker trying to give love, that's a different story. Nobody wants to accept an almost rapist, and nobody wants to love or accept a crazy stalker. Nobody wants to love and respect that. So there is a line here. I'm not saying, we should all accept people that are just trying to give love. I'm saying when that energy is unbalanced, don't accept it. And that's a lot of our twins. They're not ready to accept love, even if it's at its truest form. If we are mentally unbalanced or emotionally unbalanced or physically unbalanced in some way, they're not going to accept it. And even relationship specialists talk about that. They tell me, and they've told other people, relationship experts, when you're rejected from someone that you were with once before, if you guys have a breakup and you want to get back with that person and they don't want you, even non-spiritual people say this. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting your energy. What is going on in your life right now that they don't want any part of? Is it anger? Is it codependency? Is it lack of self-respect, lack of self-love? Is it overeating? Is it uncleanliness? Is it not being balanced spiritually? You have no clue where you're going in this life. Is your career suffering? Are you financially imbalanced? What is it about you that this person cannot see themselves with for the rest of their lives? Is there something going on? Now, the reason I'm pointing the finger at us or at you, instead of them, is because the universe is trying to show you, hey, the reason you're being rejected, cause and reaction, is because of A, B, and C. So there is a cause to the reaction of the rejection, is what I'm saying. Something is causing someone to react. It's just science. There's something that's coming up, and it's making them react in a specific way. It's an unattractive energy, and they don't want it. It's the two magnets repelling. Can you shift that energy? Can you change that energy? Oh, yes. I've seen a lot of people shift and change and grow that energy and become confident, sexy, strong, proud, independent, and healthy. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul. Okay, not perfect, just healthy. And that's usually when you always see the exes coming back. all of a sudden, because that person shifted their energy, they are on high attraction mode, and the ex is like, oh, I want that. They're totally in a good vibration now. Not only am I attracted to them, not only do I have a sexual attraction, now my mind wants them. Now my spirit wants them. Now my emotions want them. Now everything wants them. It's in balance. I want to come back to this person now. I want to reconnect now. You're at the energy I love. You're at the energy I want. And it's the vibration of self. It's totally different. You've changed. Therefore, your environment changed. And the same goes for them. The same goes for them. The only problem I've ever seen in twins that are in that energy is if they're desiring the person that's doing the rejecting. If you're desiring them while they're rejecting you, it's just reflecting to you why they're rejecting you. If you're desiring someone that is rejecting you, and I guess let me be very, very careful with my words. Let me shift the word desire with chase. I want to shift that. Not desire, chase. Because you can desire someone secretly. You can desire someone emotionally, but you're not doing anything about it. So I think the right word here is chase. If you're chasing someone that is doing the rejecting, that's the vibration that's wrong. And that's why this twin flame journey has the runner and the chaser aspect. And that's why it shifts all the time, because we are constantly adjusting the nodule at the right dial. We're getting it just right. There'll be a little running, a little chasing, a little running, a little chasing. Okay? So the problem here is if someone is chasing someone that's doing the rejecting, they're going to keep chasing as long as they can until they figure out, oh, wait a minute. You're rejecting me because I'm in a very bad vibration. Get it. Duly noted. I'm going to use my swans for this little visualization. I used to do this back in the day. I'm going to do it again. My little twin flame swans. Okay. So anyways, here's the twins mirroring each other as we like to do. We're all in perfect harmony and perfect world. We come down here and we grow and we go on our little journey side by side. We're growing, we're experiencing karmics, we're experiencing drama, we're experiencing life. We've learned all these things, and now Spirit puts us to meet. Doop. Oh, it's all beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. For months, years, I don't know how long it takes, but it's not usually years. I will say most twin flames, it's weeks or months usually. But it doesn't have to be. Hey, if you got years on you, high five. But usually twin flame journey, it's months, okay? Anyway, so you guys are good. You're really good for months, and then a situation arises. It's time to release that karmic energy. And you guys who have now loved each other and experienced bliss are now mirror reflecting each other's issues. You're clingy, you're a bitch. You're rude, you're this. You're emotionally unstable, and you are financially unstable. You are emotionally unstable, and you are physically unstable. You know, you've got issues. And now all of a sudden, you're reflecting this. And no one likes it. No one likes it. And all of a sudden, someone becomes the runner. I'm out of here. Gone. Let me see. Let me see. It's okay. It's fine. Go on. So one person becomes the runner. And the other person behind is like, wait! Where are you going? Where are you going? And the issue is this person right here is suffering from codependency, insecurities, instability, usually emotionally and financially. They're under an illusion or a fear that they need someone to complete them. They are incomplete by themselves. It's the case of putting someone on the stage and getting stage fright. Please do not leave me on this stage alone. It's like I'm okay to sing in a choir, but I'm not okay to sing on my own. You have a beautiful voice. You're just not confident enough to sing on your own. So this swan here is like, don't leave me. I'm vulnerable. I'm shielded. You've wounded my heart. I am in a very difficult situation now. You've rejected me. This has happened in my past. You promised you wouldn't. Now I'm vulnerable. I'm a sitting swan. I'm a sitting duck. Don't leave me. And it's the chase. Wait up. I'm coming. And the other person's like, no, you're not coming nowhere. We're not doing this. And it's all this going on. Wait, wait, wait. I'm coming at you. I'm coming at you. And the runner's just like, get away. Don't text me. Don't call me. Don't come near me. Blah, blah, blah. Does that mean this person's perfect? No. Let's talk about this person. Let's do that. So your issues, little cute swan, is you are insecure because you found someone that loves you, faults and all. You found someone that sees you as perfection, and you are far from it. You are emotionally unstable. You have family issues. You don't know who to connect to intimately with. You're afraid to open your heart. You have unresolved issues that are under the surface. And now this person who is a healer and a lover is trying to give you all of this, and you think it's unearned and undeserved. There's a lack of self-love, probably in both areas, but a lot going on here. It's like, no, I am not ready for, no, one word, okay, just no. They're just not ready. And so this person is suffering from very bad self-loathing, no self-love, nothing. And this person right here usually goes to a karmic partner, because that karmic partner is not going to trigger them. And this person over here now sits in codependency. And that's the runner-chaser syndrome. I am not happy by myself, and I am not happy either, but I'm clinging to somebody else. And both of you are mirroring, releasing your past and not being codependent. You're codependent on this person, but this person's codependent on karmic energy. Feeding the fire. You both have codependency. You both have issues that have to be released. Therefore, these two twins cannot come into union. Now, there are times when things help. Let's get some help. Let's see, we get a reconciliation here. We got romantic feelings. Oh, we got heart-to-heart conversations. Okay, little demonstration here. Sometimes after you guys have done some healing work and you've had some heart-to-heart conversations, you have romantic feelings that are worth exploring. The love is still here. Peekaboo's a little reconciliation. Okay, you guys have a chance to come back together. So you do. You're both seeing eye to eye. You had a heart-to-heart conversation. You did what? Heart-to-heart conversation. You released toxic energy. You released negative energy. You guys have grown on your own. So now, because you guys have addressed some of those codependent issues, those karmic issues, maybe this person just left that karmic partner. Now you guys can go doo-doo-doo, reconciliation. So there's a happy medium and you guys are back together for a while. Can it stay this way? Yes, it can if everyone stays on track. But 8 times out of 10, they don't. There are things that come into play. Karmic issues, codependencies. Sometimes what comes into play is a karmic partner wants to return. Or maybe somebody wants to return to drugs, friends, or negative behavior. Old patterns start to come up. And this is going to cause you guys a separation. This is going to cause you guys to have another hard time. This could be old feelings come up. Bitterness, unresolved issues, bottled up emotions, fights start to happen. You guys get into an argument. Maybe you're fighting about the karmic partner. Maybe you're fighting about alcoholism, smoking, I don't know, whatever kind of dark issues you guys have. Maybe you guys get triggered again because maybe even though you had a heart-to-heart conversation and things were healed, Not everything was healed. Maybe there's still things that are unresolved. Whatever the situation is, even though you come into reconciliation, there's another fight and there's another separation. You're sad, you're hurt, there's still hope, but that's the issue. And one of you guys falls off the path. Okay, now you guys are separated again. And usually there's still the runner chaser. Sometimes it changes. Sometimes it stays the same. It depends who's working on what energy. Is that what this journey? No. And a lot of people confuse this journey with the problems they're having. Oh, I'm having problems. This is an on and off relationship. This is not what I thought this is. A lot of that is not trying to see your own reflection. You don't want to face yourself. You don't want to face those things about you that need fixing. And it's never just one person. It's two people. And I've gotten two sets of clients, two different kinds of clients. One of the clients say, like a group, I'm perfect, I'm right, I'm good, I'm doing everything right. There's no reason for me to be separated from this person because I've done all the healing, all the work. I expect payment for all my work. I think you guys get what's wrong with that picture just as I said it. So that's one group of clients. The other group of clients is, I'm hopeless. I don't see a way out of this. I don't know how to do this journey. What am I doing wrong? I've got no confidence, none. I feel lost, beaten, and defeated. Is there hope? Will this person ever come back to me? You're clinging on to every word. That's, maybe there's a few groups of clients. That's one group. The other group is, I'm done. I don't want to be on this journey. Who's coming in next? Bitter. So I see here illusion. People that say they're perfectly fine, never did anything wrong, they're good. Their person's the problem. That's one problem. The other group is they have no confidence, extremely codependent. And the other one is defeat. Accepting defeat and walking away feeling defeated. Putting on a strong face when they're actually very weak. Because only weak people give up the fight. So there are several groups. Well, 3 groups. And, the other group, which is a happier group, 4th group possibly, is I believe and I have faith. And I will keep doing whatever needs to be done to keep going. The only problem I've seen with that group is they have an over-focus. It's like watching a dog with ADD. They're overly anxious, overly excited to talk to that person, get a text from that person, or see that person. They're so super happy and they're just so excited about every little bit of improvement. They get, I guess, borderline obsessive. And so there's no balance in that group. I would say out of all the groups, there's a truth in every single group. A, you must be confident and know that you're doing all you can. B, you must have enough humbleness that you know there's still work to be done. C, you must be willing to let go of the outcome. You should not be dependent on the outcome and be willing to let go. And D, you should always have faith. You should always be optimistic. So there's truth in every group, but there's an imbalance in each one. It's about balancing your energies, guys. The ugly truth is no one's perfect. And the ugly truth is it's not always them. That's the ugly truth. Can you blame someone for not trying to be with someone because of their imbalance? Sometimes I have clients that are so beautiful. They're like Angelina Jolie beautiful. But their finances are shit. And their credit's terrible. And they're not independent. And I don't blame. Sorry guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. My mom called, my brother called, my uncle called, my friend called. I'm like, shit, stop calling me. But then when I hit airplane mode, it won't let me go live. So I'm just lucky they let me resume, thank God. So let's just try to finish this reading before anybody else calls me. I cannot blame people that are not trying to come into union with someone that's financially a wreck. It doesn't matter how beautiful they are, how spiritual they are. If you're a wreck, you're not balanced. I can't blame anyone for not wanting to be with someone who's in drugs, alcoholism, or demonic issues. I can't blame anyone for not wanting to come into union with that person. I can't blame people not wanting to come into union because of kids. They're trying to work the children's situation out. And, you know, there's so many things that you can see as a divine person. You don't blame this person for running, especially when this person has their own set of issues. They've got insecurities, you know, self-worth issues. They've got family dynamic issues. They've got religious issues. They have spiritual belief issues. They have all kinds of issues. And then they're supposed to come into union and tack on your issues too, or vice versa. That's not a healthy union. And it's not that the divine does not want the twin souls to reconcile, because they do. But they want us to get our shiznit together on our own self so we can do this the right way. And I've seen people stunt their growth. I mean, I've had people completely lose contact with a twin. And the whole time, instead of working on themselves, working on their business, working on their mind, meditating, balancing, because they're mentally mind-fucked, they stop everything. They cry every day. They don't grow. They sit in despair. They wait for a text or a phone call. They do not live. They don't go out in the world. They don't go to the movies. They don't see friends. They don't go out to eat. They don't work out. In fact, they gain weight, or they lose weight, or they become a hermit. They just are all alone, depressed. Okay? They get dark. Sometimes those people will settle for a karmic relationship because they don't want to be alone. They're so into the codependency that they settle for something else, and they're just dark. They get sucked in, and they're miserable the entire time. They're miserable with the karmic, and they're miserable without their twin. They're just flat out miserable. Miserable. That's why it says soul torment. Okay? And they do that for years, months, weeks, I don't know how long, but they do it. And then out of the blue, after all your tears and crying and pain, Spirit will let this person reach out. That person will text or call. And all that's not because Spirit's trying to reconcile. Spirit's trying to show you that person's still here. That person you're connected to is still out there. You still have work to do. You're not done. You can't settle in this. Just because you're sad and depressed and not wanting to work, it doesn't mean the twin is gone. It doesn't mean that. It means get up. This is a wake-up call. Your twin will reach out, get their feelers out, and sense immediately you're in a karmic relationship, you're unhappy, you're imbalanced, you're depressed, you're clingy, and you've got issues. I'm back. I'm looking at you. But now I'm running again. Because you're not well. Or that person, if that's you and this, this is you, this person's not well. Okay? And so now the runner's running again. Even though the runner came back, they're running again because they tested you out again and you're still not right. Or the other person, if that's you, still not right. And this is where the runner-chaser dynamic gets messed with in all these readings. It's back and forth, in and out, hot and cold, up and down. But what no one's talking about, why? And people get frustrated. They go, I'm sick of this journey. I'm tired of this. I don't see a lot of readers giving explanations, and I don't see a lot of readers giving help. How do you stop this back and forth energy? Maybe I'm missing the boat. I don't know. Maybe there is readers out there giving lots of advice and help. I haven't found them. I found some here and there. Like I said, they're right half the time, but not all the time, I do get some out there. The biggest help is yourself. Okay? The only way I found help on this journey is through me. It's through me. I get my information from readers, but my help comes through me. I ask God, what am I going to do? Meditate, purge, calm, find peace, focus on something else. I get led and guided because I'm open to my spirit guides, my ascended master, and my archangels, because I listen to my intuition. And that's all I'm telling you guys to do. Listen to your intuition. Not me, not anyone. Listen to your intuition. It's going to guide you in the right direction. I promise. I found peace in my astrology chart. I found peace in my home, and peace in my business, and peace on this journey. I feel so good, and I see so much good happening in my relationship because of it. So I don't know why I was talking about this runner chaser syndrome issue, but maybe it was important and I was picking up on somebody's energy. If you're a twin flame in this dynamic and you are feeling stuck and this runner chaser is an issue, please keep in mind there could be codependent issues. There could be other factors, third-party factors, lessons that need to be learned. Why do I refuse so hard to change? Why do you? Well, the first start, Michelle, is you're badass because you admit it. Why do I refuse so hard to change? Michelle, the first step to recognizing there's a problem is recognizing there's a problem. Or no, the first step to solving a problem is recognizing there's a problem. So that's the first step. So you just jumped a whole level up. Why do I suffer on changing? Why is it so hard for me to change? Why do I refuse it? Because you're comfortable. Because this is your comfort zone. And changing makes you feel vulnerable, like I talked about when I first separated the twins. Vulnerable and alone. You need someone to feel strong. So change is a vulnerable feeling. You're a sitting duck, all alone. You're changing and no one's around to help you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your sister, not your brother. Usually not even your gurus are around there. You're all alone. Change is so hard because it's a solo journey. And solo is hard. That's why it's so hard. It's also hard because we become conditioned. It's like people have a hard time smoking. It's a condition. It's a mental thing more than a biological thing. It's a fixation on something you have to do every moment. And your brain is fixated and addicted to having your hands busy at that moment. And it makes you feel comfortable. It's a mask. It's a protection. When you deal with stress, when you have problems, you grab a cigarette and you feel calm. Because you've conditioned your mind and your body to tell yourself, I'm okay now. I have a cigarette. I'm getting answers, clarity, and peace. So as soon as your mind thinks, oh, the cigarette brings answers, clarity, and peace, that is why it's an addiction, and that is why it's so hard to stop. Because more than that piece of tobacco is your mind and your brain saying, I need this serotonin now, and the only thing that gives it to me is this. Change is hard because you're reprogramming your brain. So if you say you want to stop smoking and every time you want a cigarette, you drink some juice, or you do 10 sit-ups or 10 push-ups, or you move your feet really fast under your desk and you tell your brain, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous, but I feel good. Your brain might stop needing that. Your brain might just quit. But be careful whatever little thing you start, because you might have to keep it. It becomes an addiction. But change is hard. So that is, it's difficult. Working on yourself is the hardest of anything to fix. Self-reflection is the hardest journey to have. You wish you had some ganja. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I hope these gave you some clarity. Does anyone else have any other questions about the runner-chaser dynamic? Or this twin flame journey while I'm on here? Because I'm about to tap off in like 5 minutes. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Get a drink. Any other questions, guys? Oh, I missed it. Me too. Yes. So awesome, TC. What are the questions? What can I do when I get hard every day without me realizing it? I hate it, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to read from far away. And to make things worse, okay, well that was a weird, what? Am I reading that right? I don't know if I'm reading that right. I can't even see from this far away. If there's weirdness going on in my channel, monitors, do your job. I think I was reading that wrong. Anyways, how can I encourage my twin to stay balanced? How can you encourage them? Positive encouragement. When you tell your twin, good job, you're doing great, even when they suck, it gives them encouragement. When you tell them you're proud of them, they want to make you proud more. I'm going to put an example like this. If you tell a cheater, and it's worked for me because I had a major cheater in my life. When you tell a cheater that you know is just cheated on you, that you love them and you appreciate them and everything they do, and they're so good to you, the guilt immediately overwhelms them. They suddenly are draped in darkness, sadness, and guilt, and they want to fix that shit they just did. Because they feel the, how do you say, they feel your love and your healing and your beauty. They see what a beautiful soul you are. They see how good it feels to get that recognition, and they want it. They go hungry for it. They're starving for that recognition. Believe me, it's worked. I'm very good at mind fucking people, guys. It's what I do. Well, not really. Come on. I do tarot. But I'm just saying, this is my other thing. I know how to mind fuck people. Trust me. So even if they're a liar, cheater, whatever, play him. I've done this, and I've changed my kid's father's dynamic, the way he acts and the way he talks and the way he treated me. I did not agree with what he did, but doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results sucks. So I did something different. I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want to break up because of our kids. But at the time I thought, I'm going to start treating him really good and telling him how much I appreciate him, just to try it out and see what it's going to do. And what it did was, it changed the way he treated me. He started bringing me flowers out of nowhere. He was more romantic, more affectionate. He wanted to spend more time with me. It was weird. And it's because, and I was a little bit, because I knew he wasn't faithful. But I just wanted him to feel guilty at the time. My purpose for doing that was, I want you to feel guilty. So yes, it was a little bit out of bitterness and anger. I was praying a lot back then, and I just really wanted him to feel guilty for what he'd done. And I wanted him to see what he was missing out on. Because what I had experienced in that relationship dynamic was, I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm criticizing him, I'm telling him every day what I'm not happy with. And all I'm getting is more every day. The next day it's the same, and it's the same, and it's the same. And I'm like, God, I'm going to pull my hair out. And I would pray to God, please fix my relationship. Please bring this person back to me. Heal our relationship. Heal this family. God, come in and fix this family. I wanted a Mr. Fix It. I wanted God to fix it for me. What I didn't realize, because I was so young, was I'm the one who's going to fix it. Me. And God did speak to my heart and said, forgive. Even though this person has cheated, lied, and been unfaithful. Do you love this person? Yes, I do. I had to get honest. Yes, I do love this person. Do you want to grow old with this person? Yes, I do. Is what happened enough to destroy your family? No. Are you ready to leave this person? No, I wasn't. Then the answer was, buck up, chin up, or give up. Well, I knew what my answer was. I wasn't going to give up. So it came to my attention through The Secret and other things. Speak good onto your love. Speak good onto your family so it can come out of it. It can be created. I spoke good onto my person. I told him I loved him. I told him I appreciated him. I told him what an excellent father he was and how happy he made me, even though every one of those words were lies, because I really wasn't happy. He wasn't a great father. It made me cry because more than anything in my heart, I wanted those words to be true. I wanted him to be the perfect man and the wonderful dad I imagined him to be. How about this? The person I know he could be. What I didn't realize then, because I was younger then, what I didn't realize then was I was seeing a part of him inside of him that he himself didn't see. I was seeing who he truly was inside, but he was very much into the karmic world and expressing a very karmic nature. He is a soulmate. He is a karmic soulmate, but he's a soulmate nonetheless. It doesn't make him any less special to me. But I dealt with a lot of darkness with that person for a reason. It was karmic darkness. And it got me through a lot. It showed me a lot. I grew a lot. That's what karmics do. They show you and you grow. But the problem is you outgrow them. And as much as I loved that person, I thank God for that beautiful man because he helped me grow up. And I learned how to love because of him. I learned how to love someone through their faults, through their lies, through their deceit, through their abuse, through their lack. I learned how to love beyond that. I learned how to speak good things onto my life, even though they weren't there. And it did change him. He did get better. And like I said, he was a much better person. But the problem was with me and him, I outgrew my karmic. I love him, but I outgrew him. And because I learned my lesson, this goes along with my reading that I did today, I just decided one day, I'm glad that we're fixing things and patching things. And now that we're getting older, you want to do the right thing with me. And I love that. But my heart's telling me I'm not happy here. My heart's telling me I'm more spiritual. And the problem is you don't believe in what I believe in. You don't believe in tarot. You don't believe in psychics. You don't believe in spirituality. You don't believe in astrology. You don't believe in any of that. You don't believe in a higher power. You believe in God. He was happy to go to church with me. But I outgrew church years ago. I was already above and beyond church. That was baby food. And he was just ready to get into church, like just ready to tip his toe into an area of life I already outgrew. And he was just getting there. So I just realized this isn't for me. I love you with all my heart. But I just see the truth, and this isn't going to work. It's just not. I've outgrown you, and it doesn't mean I stopped loving you. It means I've outgrown our relationship dynamic. I'm out. And I was out. That's just how it goes. I was out. Now that's a karmic relationship, okay? And I went through that, and I grew from that, and I love him, and I miss him every day. He's obviously communicating me through a higher dimension. We're still like that. Still close. He's a very special soulmate. I think he's more than just a karmic. I've had several karmics. He's more than that. He's more of a divine soulmate, which I had karma to deal with through him. Okay? That's more of a divine soulmate, to be honest. But there was a lot of karma involved. But certainly he was divine. Okay? But sometimes you outgrow people. And what I'm saying in my reading earlier today was there is a dynamic in this twin flame relationship where that person is outgrowing their karmic, just like I did. They're outgrowing it. Whether there's children, like I had with mine, children, years, like I had with mine, whatever. It's a situation where you're just like, I'm sad to break this up, but I can't do it anymore. I'm outgrowing it. I'm like I said, I'm done. So anyways, I hope that answered that question, but it's so hard to change when you're not willing to fix yourself. Whenever you're willing to fix yourself, you're open to growing up and outgrowing a situation. But if you're ever stuck in that dynamic where you have a hard time changing, that means you have a hard time facing the mirror and then taking the actions. Sometimes we're good to acknowledge our problems, but we're not good to take action on it. It's like, I see my faults, but what am I going to do about it? Okay, so I have a drug addiction. What am I going to do about it? I know I have a problem. What changes am I going to make? You have to decide in your head you're going to do it. Get balanced. You have a sex addiction. You better decide you have a sex addiction so you can start fixing it. You have a codependent situation. You cry every day for your person. You can't live without them. You can't function. You suck at managing a home. You suck at everything else because your love life has consumed you. It's good that you recognize you have a problem, but what are you going to do about it? Sometimes it's just something that snaps. I was watching the movie Limitless, and it was that little clear pill. It's on Netflix if you guys want to watch it. It was a little clear pill. And what happens is you take it and your brain is functioning on every level. It's more alive and every part of your brain is being used from that little pill. So he becomes wise, smart. He's psychic. He's super, he's just amazingly aware of his surroundings. He becomes rich. He cleans his house. He used to live in a mess. This man was not able to make the rent. He couldn't work. He couldn't function. He was depressed. His house was a disaster. His life was a complete wreck. And then he took this pill, and it was funny because that night that he took the pill, he went home, did his dishes, folded his laundry, dusted all his bookshelves, cleaned out his clutter, took out the trash, mopped, vacuumed, cleaned, moved his couch, like everything in one night. He was full of energy. And then he's like, okay, what now? My house is clean. I feel great. What now? And then he started to write a book. He was typing away. He had everything in his head. He had to write a book. He goes, turns it into the publisher. He's like, read it, And then when he came down off the pill, he couldn't function anymore. He needed the pill. So it was, just my example here is with spirituality, though. When you wake up and you decide in your mind, boom, the first thing you're going to do is clean your surroundings, because all of a sudden when you have an epiphany, your mind is clutter-free. All the excess crap, codependent, addictions, drama-filled life, people that you don't want, gone. All of a sudden, they are gone from your head. They're no longer in your mind or your energy. And as soon as that happens, click. Your house is changing. You might even want to move. Like everything changes. You might want to go buy a new car. Everything shifts around you. Your entire environment. Everything. Your clothes, your couches, your living room, your dishes, the way you eat, everything. Everything, you look out of your eyes like a window and boom, you're looking into a place and a world that's not even yours. You see a whole new you. A lot of people change how they look physically. So it's the moment of enlightenment and awakening. You change. So that's like with any addiction, any problem, it's changing that dynamic. Everything shifts. Everything. And it's letting the past go. Some people can do it step by step, but I just don't see I don't see enough energy to see that continuing. I see people starting a little here and a little here and a little here. Maybe that works for some people. It may. But I just don't see that longevity with some situation like that. I only see longevity when it's a cold turkey switch. Sudden decision. That's when I see it happening. So anyways, I should probably end this reading, guys. This is going on way too long. Longer than I thought. I should have known. Yet, Spirit wanted me to get on there and talk about this twin flame journey. Why? Because I got triggered. Not triggered in a bad way for my own personal life. I just got triggered as a reader to hear another reader say, hey, this is a solo journey. That's what it is. And I'm like, no. Why did you have to say that? And then I was just going to be quiet and let everyone live. Like, I'm not going to bother people. Let them believe what they want. It's their life. Thank you so much, Natalie Perez, for the super chat, your doll. Thank you, hun. I was just going to let you all live. I was like, go live and let live. So be it. And I was going to go about my day, And then Spirit's like, no. Actually, Stephanie, you need to speak out on that. The reason you had a red flag is because you need to speak out. You need to talk about what this twin flame journey is, because you may be the only voice out there, or maybe you're one in very few. You're one in very few that know what this is, that I've revealed this path to, that is actually following this path. Maybe, Stephanie, you're someone that can even help those people, those readers, find their way back on their path. Maybe you're one of few. And so, do you really want to keep your mouth shut? No, I don't. Then speak up. And so here I am. I'm speaking up. So don't tell yourself, twin flamers, that this is a solo journey, because it's not. It's a self-reflective journey, yes. And it's about self-love and self-worth and self-growth. Hell to the yes. totally agree with her on that. But don't tell yourself this is all it is, because that one word, well, not the one word, but that point of this being just you is the one little sentence that's going to put you off guard. It's the one thing that's going to put you off track, period. And I just don't want everyone getting off track. Okay? Because it's your belief system that's going to guide you on this journey. You have to believe. If you lose faith, or you don't have an inner guidance, or you don't have a compass, you will be lost. That's like being out in the wilderness, being lost with no compass, and you don't know which is north, south, east, west. There's no guidance. None. You're just lost in a sea or space. And, you can't do that. You can't be lost. So that being said, guys, keep focused, keep vigilant, trust your intuition. Please meditate, focus, ground yourself, find peace. You are the water, you are the emotions, you are the calm. It's up to you to maintain balance. It's up to you to keep your beliefs afloat, like the lotus flowers on my thumbnail. All those little lotus flowers on those lily pads are your beliefs, your foundations. They will not be moved or wavered or shaken or sunk by a little ripple in your water. They will stay there, afloat. They will stay afloat on the words and opinions of others. They will stay afloat among how many tarot card readers you watch, listen to, go to, among anything you hear or read or see about this journey. If you have a core foundation that is strong, it will stay afloat, and nothing will be shaking you on this journey. And so I don't know. I hope I answered the questions. I hope I'm giving you some guidance here on this journey. Please trust your instincts. Your intuition is a psychic gift. It's not something that everyone uses every day. It does require exercise. Start doing it. Every time you have an idea or a thought, ask something about it. Ask Spirit, what is this thought? What does this mean? Explore your thoughts. Not all of them are yours. Not all of them are true, but explore them. Start to use your intuition on what's true or not. Test out your powers. When you're watching tarot, look at the cards, read them, learn your astrology chart, all of the above. Okay? So that is my reading, guys. Do your own work. I hope I answered some questions. Sorry, this was more of a talk and a rant. I hope it was better, but it is what it is. I spoke out. I said what I needed to say. I'll leave it at that. Okay? I don't need to kill a dead horse or keep whipping the dead horse or whatever the saying is. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you for watching. This is a message for the Twin Flame Journey Collective. If anyone's asking, is this for everybody? It's mostly for the Twin Flames. You guys have quite an opposition in front of you, which is discernment and intuition. You're being called to use your higher powers because you're a little bit more on a different spiritual level than most, okay? So you really have to start exercising them and growing them and using them. It's for the Twin Flame Collective. Everyone else, you all have these gifts. You all have them, but it's on a different level. You probably won't be as triggered or tested as Twin Flames. Twin Flames are constantly tested and usually triggered because they are supposed to be teachers and leaders. Teachers and leaders get tested the most. Period. It's just part of the deal. I'm sorry. Hey, you signed up for it. I didn't sign you up. You did. It's just part of the journey. So I'm just here to talk about it. So expect that. Don't get mad at it. Expect it. Grow with it. You're stronger than that. You're going to be fine. You got through it the last life. You're going to get through it this one. You're going to be fine. For everyone else, thank you for watching. Okay? And twins, I love you. Stay strong. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. So just keep swimming. And I love you. And hopefully we can ask more questions.